Welcome everybody to this second presentation of blockchain sports, but let's call it the first because the first one was a little bit confusing, and I will do my very best to try and explain this new project to you. I want you to know from the beginning that it is very complex, and don't worry if you don't understand a lot of it. It's not really, I think, the most important thing that we understand the whole, let's say, nitty-gritty of the details, but just to get an overall feeling and that you can use to then decide, whether you want to be in this project or not. We know that our community, which is now called Limitless, no longer Daisy. We rebranded in Dubai because Daisy stands for Decentralized Artificial Intelligence, and that, of course, wasn't the best name for moving forward. So Daisy is now just the Endotech AI project, and we are now a Limitless community that will keep on getting new projects. Today we'll look at the one that is currently here, and then on the 16th of August in Vegas, when the next meeting happens, we actually find out about the next one. So very little time for this one, not 3 years like for Daisy, just 6 months or 5.5. So let's get cracking, I suppose. Okay, so let's start with honoring the fact that we actually got this opportunity to participate and be the the founders of this new project, due to the fact that as Daisy community, we did some pretty cool stuff. I mean, we raised over 600 million within the 3 years. We are a community of over 225,000 members. And this basically meant that, visionaries that want to bring something crazy in Web3 to the world noticed us. And because of that, this blockchain sports, which is really a groundbreaking concept that leverages the potential of blockchain technology to transform the sports industry, is now available to us to participate in. And it's aiming to basically improve the transparency, security, efficiency in the world of sports. So basically just change the way sports are seen as industry at the moment. So with blockchain technology, pretty much every event, every result, every transaction, every action that's happening in the ecosystem can be stored on the immutable ledger, and this ensures that the data is protected against tampering. It basically makes sure that it's integrity. And so blockchain sports really offers us a new opportunity for interaction between supporters and their favorite teams. And the project will allow the fans to participate in educating and developing future legends of the world of sports. And so let's dive in. The actual public launch of blockchain sports will happen on 1st of September this year. But because of what I said earlier, because of Daisy, we are now positioned to really be the founders of the whole blockchain ecosystem, on which the whole infrastructure on which the whole ecosystem will be built, and in return get rewards for the rest of our lives. In a way, we once again take the role of venture capitals, capital raising through crowdfunding. So they're not going to very wealthy individuals that would put up the money for this, because the same as in Daisy, they need a strong community, a community of brand ambassadors who are passionate, enthusiastic, and involved in this, so that they spread the word, they get other people to come in. To be perfectly honest, when I first heard about the project, I wasn't that enthusiastic, because well, I can't say I'm a fan of football. But then I must admit that speaking to Rupert, the whole thing, well, he kind of enlightened me with a story. So, Rupert, if you don't mind unmuting yourself and actually sharing that story would be really nice, because for me, it really changed the perspective of everything as we were in Dubai talking about, what is the potential of this.
So, um, like Eva said, I have a short story to share. Why I think this project is going to be big, no matter almost anything, is because I think on the 9th of September or something last year, there was a charity match held by a group of YouTubers called The Sidemen. And they raised, I think, over 2.4 million or something like that for charity. And they are at no point, like, they are not peak physical athletes, They're YouTubers, they're not good at football, but people watched it because when you watch someone play who you have almost like a personal connection with, because you've watched them for years, watched them grow up, basically, you form this connection and you feel a sense of pride when you see them win. And what this project is doing is exactly that. When you sponsor a young athlete, you bet you help them to develop. And now imagine that a young athlete developing into a World Cup winner. The sense of pride you feel when that happens is something like the world has never seen before. So I don't think it's a question whether this project will be big. It's just a question of how big. That's all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rupert. Thanks. So, yes, that's, a younger perspective who sees the world a little bit wider than my view was, which was just, oh, okay, football. But I think it's also really important to realize that the more we learned about it, and I would strongly encourage you to listen to the AMA of the CEO and our co-founders, where Dima explained so much that we really start to, even though I'm not a sports fan or a football fan, I started to really relate to this project. And I will be sharing some things that he said just because I want you to feel into it. But let's first start with talking about, Limitless, because Limitless is the partner of Blockchain Sports, and we already said that, Limitless is now the new name for Daisy. I've pretty much, I think, covered this, and it is really the signature of where we are at and where we are going. That we've come a long way together. Our co-founders have always been making sure that everybody in this project wins, even if you're just a passive investor and don't want to promote. And the same is true also in this project. And of course, people who do want to promote and feel like they want to be ambassadors, well, that's a different story. They are also rewarded in a really beautiful way. So uh, basically, we are focusing Limitless and blockchain sports. All of us are focusing on Web3 projects, which is really the future of the internet, because it offers us a read-write own version of the web. The old version Web 2 is just, read and write, whereas here everybody that participates has a financial stake in and more control over the web communities that they choose to belong to. And that's really where the world is heading, if we like it or not. That's, pretty much we are moving to the next level of using internet. I would prefer to be more in nature, but again, if you want to ride the wave, then choose the right wave to ride. And I think this is a very lucrative one. So who is Blockchain Sports? Well, they are basically a Web3 ecosystem bringing breakthrough technology in the global sports industry, beginning with football. They're already positioned and, in a way now that they will be able to scale into any other sports really, really easily. But of course, the focus right now will be on football. And when we were in Dubai, we had over 25 football legends with us. So it is already backed by, well, everybody is already talking about it, even though it hasn't even launched yet. So in the last 18 months, this project has already raised over $30 million in private investments, and it already started a few key aspects of the development, including building a multi-layer blockchain called Atleta, and a first-class football academy in Brazil for the young talent to really have the very best possible uh, ecosystem or space to develop, to be trained, to be supported. They've also acquired multiple different technological companies and football clubs, and they've partnered with top sports organizations, and they have over 300 Web3 expert developers just on this project. The whole company or the whole team of blockchain sports is over 1,000 people working in 14 different companies. And they are actually also the developers of liquid mining, which well, quite a few of you already know. So we have already let's say, a level of trust and experience with them. I've spoken to Dima on a couple of occasions personally, and I must say he was very well, I was very impressed by him already then when he only spoke Russian and had to be translated. Now that he actually learned to speak English just so that he can basically aid the development or the progress of this project, I think it's really, really impressive. So this is Dimitri Saxonov. He's an 8-year veteran in the Web3 industry and known to make the complexity of Web3 really simple. And I think that's one thing we've seen in liquid mining, that the app is really, really simple and it's so easy to use. And they're really good at communicating how things work, how you should handle them. So I expect that also on this project, we will have amazing support from them. He's founder of one of the first fractionalized mining apps in the world and also founded the revolutionary liquid mining app. And he is the head, he had the vision for blockchain sports and did what most people believed was absolutely impossible. He now has become a household name in the football space around the world, has been invited by Romario to, come to his house. And because Romario apparently said to him in Dubai that his heart is with blockchain sports, and the same for the 25 other legends that were with us. The president of Brazil has invited Dima to his place to speak about what they're doing in Brazil and how they're helping the sport this football in Brazil to reach completely new levels. So really what they're doing is not just a business thing. They're changing the lives of many, many, many people, and bringing a lot more passion and a lot more enthusiasm and positive emotions into the world of sports. And it's really impressive to speak to him. So with blockchain sports, we have 4 very different, let's say, pillars. The first one being its own EVM compatible multi-layer blockchain, layer 1 blockchain, and a Web3 platform, Atleta, which is also a layer 0 blockchain, which basically means when you're talking about a layer 1 blockchain, it means that it has its own validators and it's completely protected from and safe from any adversities, resistance to any adversities. You're not borrowing somebody's network to build your ecosystem on and then are dependent on that network. You make your own rules and you protect yourself, and they will be dispersing validators globally, which means that even if in some area of the world there is a problem, the other areas are carrying it. The fact that it says that it's aiming to be also a layer 0 just means that all the other blockchains can communicate with it and can be integrated into it. And basically, it's a very important step in the blockchain space to be able to communicate between different blockchains and to be able to actually transact between different blockchains and work with different projects and so on. So it's just really putting it in a very, very, very good place to become one of the top 10 blockchains by market cap in the next few years. And that is also what they're aiming for, which is extremely impressive. And yes, as the founding members, as you will see a little bit later, you basically can, purchase nodes that will be holding this blockchain. So then the second part or the second pillar is the decentralized funding for clubs. So the idea is that through using blockchain technology, we can actually invite fans to provide football clubs and academies with access to capital for nurturing young talent through a decentralized model, which is democratizing the sport's financial aspects and ensuring that talented athletes receive the support that they need. So basically, it's removing a lot of the I don't want to be negative, but that usually the richest clubs would be able to afford talent, whereas let's say a small club would spend all the money they had on one athlete, and then they would be broke for probably the next few years, and that just means that the game was really unfair. Now, in this way, this can be very much changed. So this then brings us to the opportunity for career advancement for the athletes, basically by digitalizing young athletes, i.e. making a kind of NFT, which tells everything about them. You enable fans of young athletes to, purchase fractions of their NFTs and really help them to prosper. On these NFTs, you can have their whole profile. You can store all the data about them, about the training, about their sleeping patterns, if you want to. Literally everything is seen. Nothing can be tampered with. Nobody can be manipulating data. Nobody can be doing anything dodgy. And that's apparently a huge problem right now in the sports industry, especially the football industry. So the fact that this is possible makes all the veterans very, very excited, and all the newcomers, giving them a hope that they can actually accelerate their training and careers, including placement into clubs through a fair system. And then finally, we have the blockchain sports football franchise, which is state-of-the-art football academy in Brazil, partnered with many clubs and players and coaches around the world, and also own blockchain sports club in every continent, all using the blockchain sports technologies for a new era of scouting and players' performance. Dima was explaining in the AMA session that they're going for 4 continents: South America, Asia, Europe, and Africa. In each of those 4 countries will be selected, and they are already now scouting over 1,000 young players every day, and out of 1,000, one maybe goes through. So it is very tough, and this was again one of the aspects that kind of bothered me a little bit. Sorry, just 1 second. Because they actually use extremely advanced technologies to, also really assess if a young talent even has what it takes to become a professional sport, from, I don't know, measuring their reaction rate to seeing how their cell metabolism is, and lots and lots of things. We will be posting links to various videos which explain that in much better, otherwise I will be too long. But again, Rupert pointed out to me, Mom, don't you think it's really cool that, somebody actually knows if they have the chance of succeeding in their dream, and if not, that they don't spend 15 years or 10 years training like crazy only to find out that they are in the sport that they love kind of mediocre and have no chance of ever going pro, and then, really have to figure out, well, what's the next step in my life. So again, yes, on one side it feels like, are we turning into robots? But on the other side, it feels like, hey, but you can really give a chance to the ones that have the most chance of actually making it. So it's very, very interesting and very much changing how things will be done in the sports in the future. We have to realize that the centralized funding of clubs is actually going to be tapping into a $500 billion annual industry. That's how big this whole thing is. So, even though it might seem small to somebody who doesn't know much about football like me, it's actually a very, very lucrative industry which we are tapping into and potentially turning upside down. So we already mentioned that September 1st is the deadline, or is the date when the Athleta blockchain actually goes live, mainnet blockchain. They will be in about 3 months starting the testnet. This means that the blockchain actually starts supporting the first project, which is the athlete sponsorship model through the NFTs. Nodes begin to operate transactions on the blockchain. When the nodes go live, the founders, which is us or everybody that decides to participate from this goal, begin to earn daily rewards from the transactions on the blockchain. The activity level on the rewards will organically increase over time as blockchain sport launches more and more projects. Already now, they have over 750 million, well, they will have over 750 million followers just from the 25 football legends that have signed up with them to promote blockchain sports. They are going into so many different technologies like, AR, VR, gaming, football. Each of these has a huge community. So it is expected that the, let's say, transactions or, things happening on the blockchain is going to grow really, really, really fast just because they have a way of accessing so many people so fast through all these ambassadors. Then the Atla token will be listed on major exchanges. We, as the founders, the only people who will actually have the minting nodes, will have exclusive supply of Atla coin for the first 18 months, which can be crazy big opportunity, but nobody can really say right now how big or, put any evaluation on that. And anyway, I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. So for sure, we're not talking here now of, what speculating anything, but we need to realize that 100% of all the token rewards from the nodes work on the blockchain are available in real time. So basically, if you're validating or if you are doing anything on the blockchain, whatever you receive as a payment, that is available for you to either stake or sell or just keep in your secure wallet. And 5% of all the minted tokens, so the nodes that we now get will be minting tokens all the time, will be available after 6 months, and then they will keep on investing until the whole 100% is invested. So that means not all tokens will be released at the same time, because that would actually make the price drop. Rather, we will keep on getting them sequentially. And for that reason, it's really quite important that if you want to participate, you do that as soon as possible, because of course, the sooner you have some tokens, the more chance you have that they will actually have at the very beginning a very, very lucrative price. And then the founding members' integration and ecosystem growth. They will basically be adding a lot of things into the ecosystem, and these different projects all go live. Including the player sponsorship and NFT marketplace, which includes the blockchain's academies and clubs. This is the heart of the project launch, allowing fans to back players, allowing players to live and train in the World Academy and be taken pro. At the Dubai event, the founders were already handed a third-party evaluation by Dr. Sanjay, And basically, this is a very reputable firm which was only assessing the intellectual and digital assets rights, which, so the blockchain sports have already registered. Because right now, really, we don't have anything really tangible yet, but just based on the copyright work for the global IP portfolio of blockchain sports ecosystem and the business projects, intellectual assets, and digital technologies, the evaluation was already over 1 billion. So I think we all know that, that's pretty crazy for something that hasn't really gone live yet, and it reflects the potential of this project. So what are the benefits for you if you decide to become a founder? Well, they're kind of split in two, so dual advantage. One is, the ownership of the founder's nodes, which are responsible for minting the Atla coin and validating all the transactions and storing data. So basically, this is the, let's say, technical side, the digital side of the project. And then we have the brand partners perks, which basically means that you have access to different project categories depending on how much you want to participate with. And you are getting royalties from all these different categories, as well as from the media library and royalties from different promotions. Let's quickly talk about what is a node. Nodes play a crucial role in the operation and security of blockchain systems. They are basically responsible for various tasks, including the creation, transmission, and validation of transactions, as well as the minting or mining of new tokens. Basically, that's the hardware on which the whole thing is going to live. It's the ecosystem which is needed to bring blockchain sports into reality. And we have the opportunity to be exclusive owners of this as founders, buying the packs, which include the nodes, and we'll look at that a little bit later. So the nodes are minting the Atla coin, and the Atla coin is basically is the token that validates all transactions in the Atleta blockchain and validates all earnings plus daily rewards. So we are more used to the Tron blockchain. We know that every time we do anything on the Tron blockchain, whether we whether we were crowdfunding or whether we were withdrawing or whether we were sending some money to somebody, whatever we did, we had to pay some Tron for gas fees. Well, imagine Atla as the gas fees coin on the Atleta blockchain, which is going to be hosting all these different categories and all these different projects that we've been talking about. So the Atla coin is basically a native layer 1 coin of the Atleta blockchain, and it is minted by the founders' nodes. Founders packages provide ownership of founders' nodes, which are responsible for minting the Atla coin. The total supply of the Atla coin, spelling mistake, coin is generated by these nodes. That's really important because also it is a limited supply, and nodes are also validating all the transactions on Atleta blockchain and earn rewards for this work all the time, daily, for the rest of your life. One aspect, some of the nodes, basically the nodes that will be bought before April 1st, will participate also in the data storage rewards, which, if you think about, how Google or Microsoft or any other cloud storage system today charges us to keep safe our, information. Well, it's kind of the same here, except that this ecosystem, since it is based on making sure that all the data about, all the players, all the clubs, all the games, everything is really stored in a safe and transparent way, available to everybody, but cannot be tampered with. Well, it's going to be huge, the amount of storage that they will need. So it is very much probably a good idea to, if you want to participate, do that before April 1st. And then so we said, we have the technical side, and then we have the real life side, which is the football sport and everything that is going on in the football sport. And there we have 6 categories, which range from $500 to $100,000. And each of them actually has like additional benefits and an increased number of nodes. And everyone that decides to participate actually starts by buying the Academy pack, which is $100. And that is basically a contribution to the Blockchain Sports Academy in Brazil that aims to support and nurture young talents. So the ticket into the blockchain sports ecosystem is through the Academy pack, and it means that we all support the young talent to start off with, and then the other 6 categories are where technology meets in real life sports are these ones. So the first category for the $500, it's the NFT marketplace, which includes fans sponsoring young athletes and our breakthrough scouting platform. When you upgrade to the next level, so the 2000, we'll see this a little bit later, you also are participating in the royalty rewards from the blockchain sports academies and clubs, allowing fans to sponsor players to have their chance at going pro, including club partnerships globally. The third one, it's in partnership with Inner Athlete, which is the breakthrough health technology and sports science that will really change the game, basically how the game is played, because it will offer so much insight into how the athletes' bodies work that they will have a huge advantage in how they train, how they rest, how they eat, how they sleep, in everything that optimizes their performance and helps them really succeed in their best. The next one is the technology research and development teams and family of companies that have innovated a new era of virtual reality, artificial intelligence, platform interactions, gaming, and much, much more. So basically, we are going into research and development. And then the final pillar is the entertainment pillar, which is what sports is all about, because I suppose all these youngsters wouldn't be training so hard if nobody was watching them. But then now we are also going very much into gaming, into reality TV shows, into live events, fantasy league, and it will be an open platform for the developers, so that many people from can actually decide to participate with their ideas as well. That's why the blockchain is layer 1 and layer 0, that a lot of ideas can be incorporated that might not even be originally from blockchain sports. So we already mentioned, but that is the most important aspect, that blockchain sports is probably one of the top projects right now that is bringing together the benefits of blockchain and in real life sports. Most of the crypto projects have been accused of being nothing more than a pump and dump sort of scams that promise a lot but then ultimately leave people losing. Well, here it's not about that. It's actually using the technology of blockchain to make a difference, to improve an industry, sports industry. And so we are rewarded on both sides if we decide to become funders. And let's have a look at how that looks. So we said Academy Pack, which is a $100 contribution, is actually the ticket into the blockchain sports ecosystem. With this $100 contribution, you basically help the social project with real estate NFT. You're helping young talents in the academy to be there, train, and become their best version. If you decide to go in at 500 or upgrade from 100 to 500, you can always upgrade. You can start with whatever pack you can afford or like or want to test. And then if you want to go higher, you just pay the difference. You don't, here we don't buy each of them, or we don't have to buy sequentially. We're just, choosing one, and if paying whatever is the difference to that. What's really important to note is that the number of each of the founders spec is limited. So the $500 founder spec is capped off at 400,000. Once 400,000 are sold, there are no more unless, somebody decides to upgrade and then release their one so you can then jump in. But with the $500 founder spec, what happens is you will be earning 2% if you invite anybody to blockchain sports. So if you decide to promote it, you will receive one node that is minting the ATLA token. And you will also receive revenue from all NFT sales on the platform and all the commissions from secondary sales. So basically, you are participating as a founder in the NFT marketplace and the scouting platform. If you decide to go higher to 2,000, and there are only 100,000 of those available, you actually get 4 nodes. So with the first one you had 1, here you have 4 nodes. You get 3% if you decide to invite anybody to blockchain sports as a direct referral bonus. You are again minting the ATLA coins, and you are also earning daily as a validator node. You still get the royalties from the NFT marketplace, but on top of that, you also get royalties from any footballer contracts and player transfers. Next upgrade is to 8,000, and there's only 25,000 of those. And here you have 16 nodes rather than 4. You have a 4% commission. Again, you're minting the coins, you're validating the transactions, but you also are earning daily from the explorer on the blockchain sports. Again, you have on the in real life rewards royalties, the royalties from marketplace and the player contracts, and on top of that, also the royalties from franchise clubs and basically all the football clubs royalties. The next one is 25,000. There's only 8,000 in total. Here we have 50 nodes. We are also getting digital rewards on top of the, minting and explorer also from the wallets and all the interactions with the various decentralized applications that will be built on the Atla blockchain. And on top of, and on the, let's say, in real life rewards, we now have royalties from performance and technology, which was a huge topic and something I would really encourage you to watch the video from from Dr. Eric, who was showing us how sports science and health technology will reshape the way training and development of these young athletes are going to happen. Then we have the $50,000 package, and there's only 4,000 of those. And this one gives you on the digital reward side the transaction fees between the different networks, so the bridging, which is something that I already talked about, that Atleta is actually going to allow communication between the different blockchains, which is really, really, really important for the whole crypto space to grow. And on the royalties, we get the royalties from all the technology and research and development, which includes, virtual reality systems, artificial intelligence systems, and many other technologies. And finally, the founder spec for $100,000, and there's only 2,000 of them. This one then also allows you to earn on the digital rewards from the decentralized exchange that blockchain sports will be building, which is collecting or making money on all the DeFi projects that will be present in this ecosystem. And on the royalty side, here it's the entertainment business, so you're getting royalties from the gaming, reality shows, live events, and sponsorships. And here we look pretty much at the same information, just laid out a little bit different. So it's maybe easier to imagine it. Basically, as we go down from 500 to 2000 to 8000, always just paying the difference, we get more and more nodes in total, and we get more and more digital rewards in total, and we get more and more real life business royalties. I'm not going to read them all again because they're exactly what I've said before. What's important is that the founder specs, so these prices will go up by 10% starting 1st of April, and then 1st of May another 10%, and 1st of June another 10%, and July another 10%. So it does pay to be in early. And like I said, you only pay the difference. You're not rebuying or buying another pack, you are paying the difference and upgrading. So founding members benefits, we already kind of covered, but to summarize, it's basically we get to share in the success of the entire roadmap. We enjoy lifetime royalties and participate in the Atleta blockchain, and we are part of a very disruptive community with a goal to actually get 500 founder members by the 16th of August when we have our next meeting. To do that, of course, we are very much invited to promote, i.e. to tell people about this opportunity and give them a chance to also participate and earn a very different kind of income for the rest of the life than what we are used to doing right now, which is, kind of going to work and working a job. You don't have to. I know some people have serious, well, they just don't want to do it for different reasons. If you want to do it, but you don't feel comfortable, then we are here to help. Rupert is designing a web page right now where all the information is going to be put in one place, really easy to navigate and also really easy to join. If you don't want to because you don't like it, well, that is your choice. And everything we talked about up till now, you still get to enjoy without ever telling a single soul that you've decided to join this. But I trust that if I like something, I want to talk about it, as I'm doing now, that you might want to do the same. You might want to invite people to this kind of presentations in the future. And if you do so, there are 3 different ways that you will actually be rewarded upfront. One of them is called Founders Rebate Bonus. The other one is 10 unilevel bonus on 10 generations. And finally, we also have the breakage bonus pools. That's upfront. Residual means, moving forward, 10% of all future profits paid out throughout the ecosystem are also, earning in the ecosystem of blockchain sports are actually paid out through Unilevel. So people who have decided to build will then be also rewarded for doing so ongoing. So there is really a very big opportunity for substantial long-term rewards by building blockchain sports with us. Let's look at 2 aspects which are probably the most important right now. To qualify for the rebate bonus, you need to basically invite 2 people that will buy any founder pack. If both of them buy the 500, that's already enough, and you already qualify for the founder pack rebate, and we'll look at that in a little while. So I would strongly say, okay, who do I know that would also be happy to learn about that? And if it's just 2, that's fine. And then if you decide to go further, you actually can then unlock generations and bonus pools by either helping those 2 to bring 2, or maybe you asking a few more people if they like it. So what does the rebate bonus look like, or what does it mean? Basically, as soon as you let's say you purchase the founder pack for 2,000. You invite two people that come in with at least $500 founder pack, i.e. together they make the volume of 1,000. 25% of your $2,000 founder's contribution will go into live trading with Endotech. So here we're bridging Endotech project, which was our first DAISY project and has been completed successfully. And you're going into the next stage with this project. The founders know that what Dr. Anna is doing with trading, and Dima knows that right now they don't need all the amount, all the money that we will be putting in the next 6 months. So what they decided is 25% of whatever you contribute will go into trading, and when that trading profit hits 400%, you will actually be paid back your 2,000. If it's 8,000, you're 8,000. If it's 50,000, you're 50,000. It basically whatever founders pack you have by the 16th of August, which is when we finish, you are entitled to receive 100% of that back when the profit on the trading portion of it reaches 400. So anytime after the 1st of September, when the whole thing goes live, you will be at one point getting a beautiful sum of USDT into your wallet. The next thing is then the bonus pools. And here they've done the bonus pools in a way that everybody has a chance to start earning immediately. The bonus pools are fueled by global breakage. Breakage means that because we are building this whole project on the, let's say, ecosystem or the community structure of DAISY, there are a lot of people, who will be in there and will not qualify for the full payout. We've seen that there is, 2% or 3%, not 4% per generation that will be paid out at the beginning. So if you only receive 2%, 2% goes into breakage. If up to the first 10 generations, people will be paying in a lot of money, but that money will not all go because there aren't 10 generations. So some of that goes into breakage. Basically, there are a lot of ways the breakage pools are filled up. And usually companies would take that for themselves. But our founders, like always, want to give everything back to the community. So they are putting 30% of the daily breakage into each one of these pools, and 10% will be actually used for future events and promotions and marketing. Let's look at the Rising Star pool. How do you qualify for that one? This one, as soon as you get your share, which you get by basically inviting people to participate and contribute together $5,000 in founders packages. These are people who you invite directly by yourself. So basically they use your referral link to sign up. As soon as you have 5,000 in volume in your generation one, i.e. direct referrals, and providing that that's not all from one person. It's always 50% rule. So maximum 50% of the 5,000 can come from one person. You get your first Rising Star share. And this share will be paying you out a portion of this, breakage pool for the next 30 days. You can get a maximum of 5 shares in the first 30 days, which would basically mean that you've managed to get $25,000 in direct referrals within the first 30 days. After 30 days, Rising Stars can no longer be earned because this is really, like an invite to start. But your shares will be paying out for 30 days from the day that you get them. If you do the 5 shares, then of course you already have 25,000 in volume, which automatically gives you 1 share also in the champions pool. Here, there will also be $100 100 million Atleta coins divided between people who earn the champion pool shares. You earn these by unlocking generation 4 to 7. We will look at that a little bit later. And these shares basically, increase with each generation. We'll have a look. Finally, the Legends pool is also a 30-day payout share. Again, 100 million Atleta coins are divided between people who will earn a share in this pool. You earn them by unlocking generation 8 to 10. And if you get up to generation 10, then you actually get a permanent share in the legend pool. So in champion and legend pool, the volume is just adding up. It's cumulative. It's not, it doesn't say within 30 days or in April. Whatever you and your team Rising Star is just your direct. Champion and Legends is the team volume. So basically whatever, your whole organization is making, it's all adding up. And for every, these are the terms that you need to make. So let's look at how the generational referral structure works. So in first generation, whoever you invite, you will get 4% of whatever package they decide to purchase. As soon as you have $1,000 in personal referral volume, at least from 2 people because of the 50-50 rule, you actually qualify for the founders pack rebate bonus. So that was the one that we talked about earlier, where they put the 25% in trading, and when that reaches 400%, you get your participation into founders pack paid back in full. Once you have $5,000 in the personal volume, you actually unlock generation 3. It means that you can count the people who are in generation 1, so the people you invited directly, in generation 2, which are the people that were invited by your first generation people, and in generation 3, which are the people who were invited by the second generation. You actually can count all this volume, whatever they put in, as your this is still personal volume. So here you earn your first Rising Star, and you keep on earning that up to 25,000, so maximum 5 Rising Star shares, and this has to be done in the first 30 days. But then if you have the 5 Rising Stars, or even if you don't, it doesn't matter. As soon as you have 25,000 in team volume from generation 1, 2, 3, and 4, you actually unlock generation 4, and this gives you your first share in the champion pool. And if you reach this level and you participated maybe with only the $500 or the $100 pack, which would only give you 2 or 3% on the earnings, you now actually receive 3%, irrespective of the fact that you did not put in that much money yourself. By raising $100 in team volume, you unlock generation 5, which gives you then 4 additional, it gives you 4 shares in the champion pool. And here you're now earning the 4% irrespective of what your contribution was. If you contributed 8,000, then you would have that automatically. But if you contributed less than 8,000, then you would be at 2 or 3. But here with a $100 volume, you actually unlock generation 5 and you get 4% automatically. Then by reaching 250 in team volume, you unlock generation 6, which gives you 10 shares in champion pool. By unlocking 500,000, you unlock generation 7, which gives you 20 shares in the champion pool. And then by actually having 1 million team volume, you unlock 8th generation, and that actually gives you the first share in the legend pool. 2 shares you get with 2 million, and 5 permanent shares you get if you manage to get 5 million in team volume, which would unlock generation 10. So this would maximize the plan, and this is what the top builders will be achieving. I'm not sure we'll get quite there, but why not? Let's see how it goes. I know this is probably still very, very confusing. You can always get back to us with specific questions. Right now, it's really not very important at all. The only thing that's important to know is if you feel inspired by this, and you want to join, it's very likely that other people would like to know about it as well. So invite them to Zooms, or share the web page with them as soon as Rupert and I complete it. And that's what will get you on the road through this referral plan. So how do you actually join blockchain sports? It's really easy, especially if you are already a Daisy member. If you are already a Daisy member, then all you need to do is put the amount of USDTs that you want to purchase the pack for. So choose either 500 or the 2000 or the 8000, but remember to add the $100 one. So it's basically either 600. You can also start just with the 100, but that doesn't mean you have a node yet. But after, whatever it is, plus the 100, have at least 200 Tron in your wallet for the gas fees, and use your existing Tron link wallet that's connected to Daisy, and just go to www.immlimitless.io. If you are not a member of Daisy, then you need to create the TronLink wallet using the App Store or Chrome extension. And then you do the same steps, except here you don't go to www.imlimitless.io, but you actually need to have a referral link from one of the members. And it should be from the person who actually invited you to this Zoom. So get back to them and get their referral link, and they will also be able to help you because they're already in it and they know how exactly the procedure is. One thing I would like to say here is that I have managed to find a brilliant brokerage company which can help you put money from your bank account into your Tron link directly, because lately a lot of people have found it very, very difficult to actually get money from your bank account into a centralized exchange like Binance or Kraken, and then buy their USDTs and TRX and then put them into the Tron wallet. So we found a partner who can help us with this. And if you do need help on that, please just, WhatsApp me or send us a Discord or email or whatever. I think everybody here has access to us for the time being. Later on, we will actually put a widget to register directly through there on our webpage. But if you need help getting money into crypto, contact us. So, are you ready? The rewards plan is really designed to empower everyone, from the person who's never done anything like this to the people who have got huge networks already from other projects. And it is really offering unprecedented opportunities and rewards for involvement and promotion of blockchain sports, because this ecosystem, the same as Daisy, it will be as strong as the ambassadors and the community behind it. And that's why we were chosen, because we have already proven to be a very, very strong community. There is a little bit of an urgency, not in the sense that I want to push you, but just be aware that, on not 1st of March, but 1st of April, the prices will increase by 10%. Also, on 1st of April, the nodes will no longer have the data storage. So ideally, join in March. And also, the sooner you purchase, the sooner your coins will unvest, which means, you can actually sell a portion of them sooner, because usually when the supply is very scarce, and it will be at the beginning, the price is automatically higher. So as I already mentioned, please get the referral link from the person who invited you, and stay tuned with us through the Telegram, Discord, and YouTube. YouTube, we have to update a bit. Well, we have to update all of them because they're all still very much Daisy oriented, but just, do realize that you can get, stop sharing. You can get help from all of us, so that, yeah, you know how to move forward if you so wish to. Anyway, I hope that was not too much, or I know it was. But that's exactly how we felt in Dubai. Then digesting it for a week, it's much, much better. And I open the floor to any questions. Don't go all at once, please.
What an amazing presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Aurora. Thank you. Anyone has a question, don't tell like I can interpret this two ways. One is that it was so brilliant to understand everything, and I know that's not true, or it was so confusing that you can't even ask a question yet.
I think I get the general idea, even if all the details is a bit like much, but it's like a general idea that it's a bit similar but different, and what's the project is about. And I don't think I have, only one question came to me, but that's more like curiosity, because I noticed on something about the shares. On the last one, it said like it was different amounts of shares, and then on the last it was permanent shares.
Yeah, it's
So
only the
like,
10th
what does that
generation.
mean? What is permanent? Why is some shares not permanent? I don't know.
Yeah, all the shares are for 30 days only. So from the day that you qualify for that share, you will be earning all the rewards that it's giving you for 30 days, unless you've managed to raise 5 million in team volume. Then you get a permanent share, which will be rewarding you pretty much probably for the rest of the life, if this is going to be as big as it's supposed to be. So yeah, it would be nice, but also without the permanent share, there will be beautiful rewards just by actually having the founder specs. So this one is much more difficult to evaluate. When in Daisy we kind of could have talked about, percentage per day or what do we expect and all the rest of it, even though we weren't supposed to, but we saw it. It was much more easy to say, okay, what's the kind of expected return on investment? Here, it's really venture capital. This could be bigger than any of us can imagine. And actually, how active we are will probably be a little bit also to do with that. So it's kind of, we are building our own destiny in a way. And at the same time, it's really hard to say. So it's one of those things where you, I think, need to listen to your gut. And the same as always, put in what you potentially could lose. But on the other hand, that could potentially turn into something that you're going to like, good, that was a good decision I made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not listening to my gut. I'm listening to Jiva, but
But she's got a good gut, so just go with
yeah,
Jiva.
I'm listening to her gut.
Jiva's gut is perfect. This was
try.
like every time, I'm not joking, like when we started in crypto 3 years ago, I would go and I would look at, all the tokenomics and analyze all the tokens and try and follow all these YouTubers who were telling, this is going to be the next trend and I don't know what else. And then decide on that, and I would be explaining to her, and she was like, yeah, I like the name of this one. I bought a little bit of it, And the next day that one would go like 50% up and mine would just go, like, because obviously all the YouTubers were hyping it and of course then dumping it. And Jiva was just like, that one feels good. I like the name of it, So listen to Jiva's gut. It's always good.